Okay, so I'm incredibly excited to have with me Deborah Kagan with me. And Deborah Kagan is a wonderful, wonderful resource that we have here on the Remodel Sexy panel of experts. I actually met Deborah Kagan a little while ago when I was on one of her online conferences. So it's really nice to be able to have sort of the tables turned here, and I get to pick her brain, and so do you actually. So welcome so much, Deborah, and I want to be able to kind of get you to explain your business to everybody, because you could probably do it a world more justice than I know that I can. So welcome and thank you for being a part of this program, Remodel Sexy.
Oh, I'm so glad that you have me and asked me to be a part of it. So I love the way that we connected, and yeah, it's really fun when the tables do get turned around.
Yeah. And so help me understand a little bit, Deborah, to help people at home understand, what is it that you provide to people? What are you bringing to the table here with Remodel Sexy, and what do you do with your daily business?
Yeah, terrific. Well, what I do in my daily business and in my life is I really help women to rock their mojo, as I say. And that means to feel fully confident about who they are, feel terrific in their own skin, and to live a turned-on life.
And that's amazing, because a lot of people, I think, especially women, are very disconnected from themselves. And with sexy food therapy and my personal work is that I try to reconnect them with food. And I brought you into this Remodel Sexy program to talk a little bit about how women can feel sexy behind closed doors. So, help people understand a little bit about maybe something that they could, begin doing right away that can help them with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And what happens is, and I find that people, women do get disconnected because there's really this thing that's been going on for probably about 40 years called the masculinization of women. And that has thrust us into living right up here, right? And just our life, what I call our life above the neck.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that women can do right now is to start living life below their neck. And this doesn't necessarily mean, we're talking about sex. However, what we want to do is to start to embody our physical body, right? Our wisdom lives down here, all throughout our whole body. So what women can start doing right now is connecting to what I call your power center, okay? Because everybody has this, and I know we're going to talk more about this on the full call.
Yep.
But let me just tell you where your power center is, so you can just start to connect with it and become friends with it.
Yep.
Is that good?
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay. So your power center is just right below your navel and to right above your pubic bone. So you could put your two fingers, your index and your middle finger, and you can place it right below your navel. And it goes also from the front of your body to the back of your body. So think of this as like your chamber. It's like your storehouse of life force, all right? And that is your sexy place, right? It's our reproductive organs live there.
I think that's really interesting because, in Chinese medicine, we say that that area just below your navel, well, actually, it's more of a Japanese belief because it's your hara. And then, you go into Ayurveda, and then you're talking about chakras. And, that's also where one of the chakras are located. And to talk about your sexuality mixed with your creativity, there's been belief to say that those two are actually synonymous with one another.
Absolutely.
Which I think is really great. So, when it comes to, do you find that if somebody is struggling with sort of feeling sexual and bringing out that, mojo of theirs behind closed doors, is there something that they can even do creatively to help to boost that?
Well, absolutely. The first key is to connect with your power center. Because just as you were saying, right, yes, there is this connection between your sexuality and your creativity. So to bring it up, you have to first breed it and become friends with it.
Gotcha.
Right? And so what happens is women cut themselves off from this life below the neck, and now there's no flow, there's no connection to that power center, to your own sense of sexuality and sensuality. And so to have have, more comfort behind closed doors, to feel better about yourself and your own skin, is first to create a relationship with your power center. And that can be a very scary thing for women, especially, if you've been disconnected for a while, if there's been any trauma in your life, unfortunately, there's too many women that have experienced sexual abuse or some sort of domestic violence. This is in the fastest way to shut down your power center.
I think that's really a really powerful statement, because it's true. We've seen a lot of women, and even statistically proven that a lot of women have gone through some sort of sexual violence, where they just sort of shut that off immediately. So knowing that there's so much trauma there that we hold there, and then even seeing from a medical perspective the ways that it physically manifests within us, from either having very heavy periods or having an absence of it. These are ways that, physical manifestations are happening based on some of these more spiritual things that are happening to that area, which is just quite amazing. Now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about an article I read or came across a little while ago, which was saying that between men and women, men tend to feel behind closed doors sort of more of insecurities about performance, versus women tend to feel more insecurities about their body image. And I want to kind of get your thoughts about that, and what can women do to, I know you're saying to connect with your power center there. Is there something else a woman can do to sort of feel a little bit more comfortable and a little bit more relaxed with herself behind closed doors, so she's not sort of looking over at her hip going, oh, look at the dimples there, what do I do?
Yeah, absolutely. And and we all do go through that. I mean,
sure.
Right? I've had my moments. It's like, we're just human. That's just part of it. It's like, okay. But the cool thing is when you start to recognize like where the real fun and the real pleasure comes in, which is when you're not paying attention to, your actual image in the bedroom. And so and I agree with you, and yes, men are much more concerned about performance, right? It's just, that's a man's world, right? That's very masculine energy. It's like, they've got to do and perform. And for women, when we come to our true feminine nature, which we ultimately do bring out in the bedroom, hopefully, I mean, if that's your gig, right? Then it is so much more about beauty and about feeling and about some of that sensual side of our sexuality. Like, that's really our domain as women. We are the keepers of that domain.
Yep.
And so what women can do is really start to focus on the sensations that you're experiencing. So it's like if you're being touched in a certain way, start to just really tune in into that feeling. Like, what is that? Maybe that's that one part of your body that's being stimulated, and send all of your attention there, because you'll find so much more pleasure with the sensation of what's going on, and you'll start to forget about, is there the dimple, is my thing hanging out, or all of that. So that's just one quick thing that you can start to focus on to have much more enjoyment in the bedroom rather than that stress.
That's fantastic. I really think that's great, and I think a lot of women out there can relate to those issues. And even for what we're going to be talking about, and obviously, I mean, Deborah, I can pick your brain till the cows come home, really, about this topic. Because as you know, with Sexy Food Therapy, I talk a lot about love, sex, food, or connections, emotional connections, and so forth. But what I do get a lot of questions about is for single women who don't have an active sexual life and want to be able to bring in that energy to themselves, like to be able to manifest that. And I want to be able to pick your brain on that on the full call. But with that said, one of the things that I'm really excited about is your giveaway that you're giving away, because for everybody who is signed up to Remodel Sexy, you are going to be able to win this wonderful value. And tell me a little bit about this Feng Shui gift that you have, because I believe that if you have good energy in your home, you'll be able to manifest that in, which is what I was just talking about.
Right, absolutely. And so part of my work that I've been doing for over 15 years is helping people to create really powerful environments to manifest the life of your dreams. And so your environment is your body. It's like your physical body, right? But it's your environment body, and it affects absolutely everything in your life. Your relationships, your health, you know, your career. It's very much what I call acupuncture for architecture. And I know that you totally relate to that.
I love that.
Yeah. So what we're doing and what I wanted to give to your audience is something called decoding your environment. And it's a full report where you'll understand what parts of your home or your office, you know, relate to exactly what parts of your life. So if you are looking to increase your relationship, now you'll know where that area is within your home, and then you can make some adjustments. The bedroom, which we talk about in this report, is the closest thing to you, right? You lay on your bed. It's like that's the closest thing to you, and the bedroom is the home of the bed. So what's going on in your bedroom? Just the decor, you know, where your bed is, the colors, all of that affects your relationships or the lack thereof. So there's a ton of goodies in that report for you to check out and then increase your pleasure with relationships and so much more.
As a result of that. And I think it's also really important because I think that people, you know, have to realize, like I just did a really big, massive spring cleaning. You see my bookshelf behind me. I'm like, don't judge! But like, you know, even like my bookshelf, and I was looking at it going, why do I have some of these books? Or why do I have some of these wires that are jumbled up here? Or why do I have these excess papers that I just don't need? And I couldn't believe the impact that it was actually having on the way that I felt from a day-to-day basis, how it felt like my life felt almost heavy as a result of it. And that really impacts everything, even including body image, which just sounds so like indirect and far-fetched from it. But like, I don't feel good about myself if I feel this weight on myself. Yeah. So, you know, I think that this wonderful offer that you're giving away to, you know, our paid subscribers of Remodel Sexy, I think is such a wonderful gift.
Good. Well, I'm so excited because it's really an integral part in being, you know, a sexy, vibrant, turned on woman.
And so for people out there who want to find out a little bit more about Deborah, please let us know your website so that people can contact you. And I know it's at Deborah Kagan is your Twitter handle.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Twitter's at Deborah Kagan, and you can find me at Deborah dash, got to do that little hyphen dash thing, Kagan.com, Deborah-Kagan.com.
And it's, you know, it's great because I remember looking at there, and there was, you always have that little video up there, which I just think is such a powerful way to sort of, you know, find out a lot about Deborah and this amazing energy behind this fantastic woman. So, you know, for those of you out there for Remodel Sexy, she is just a gem to be discovered. I think that she's got a lot of really interesting tips. So if you have any questions for Deborah, please do email me at melissa@sexyfoodtherapy.com, and we will include them on the full call. And if you are not signed up for Remodel Sexy, what the heck are you waiting for? Because there's so much in store with this amazing online conference where all the videos for paid subscribers only are going to be available on April 20th with a funky little password that's going to be given to all of them. So thank you so much, Deborah. I really appreciate your time. I know you're a very busy woman. So thank you very much. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the full call.
Me too. I'm so excited to talk to all the subscribers and bring your questions. I love your questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Deborah.
Okay. Bye.
Okay, bye.